Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a project pan update for you guys, and this is going to be one of those ones where this is like a progress check-in. I don't have any empties this time, however I do have new pan in one product, so let's dive straight in. First off, let's talk about this hair treatment. I was like, what is this? Let's talk about this hair treatment. So this is the Keratherapy Keratin Infused Deep Conditioning Mask. I added this in on the last update and I have very much been enjoying it. So I have made a little bit of a dent in it here. So you can see I started almost with a full bottle and I'm down like 3/4 of an inch there. So making some good progress on this one. This is like a moisture plus protein type of treatment. So this isn't one that you want to use too often. So I'm using this once a week on Sundays. I do my little hair mask, I do my little face mask, do a little self-care on Sundays, and I do really love this one. It smells, you guys know I'm not big on like heavily fragranced products, but this one smells so lovely. It smells so good. If they made a perfume, I would buy it. Like, it just has a very nice like feminine scent to it. It's really, really nice. So really like the way that this makes my hair feel. I do find I have a little bit more shine to my hair with having used this one. Prior to this one, I had the Rose and Quartz hair mask in the project. I have my little box here with all my empties plus current products in there, and I do notice between the two, this one definitely is doing more for my hair, whereas the other one just felt like a heavier conditioner. This one really does feel like a treatment. So it says to leave it on for 3 to 5 minutes. I try to leave it on as long as I can, more like 10 minutes. And my hair feels really nice and it smells really good and it continues to smell really good. And so I'm really enjoying having that in the project. It will probably take me the better part of the rest of the year to use that one up, but that's okay. Now let's get into some complexion products. I have the Touch and Soul No Poreblem Prime Essence in the project, and I've been making very consistent progress on this one. So you can see we started way at the top and we're about here. This is like a fully opaque bottle, even if I hold it up to the window or my ring light. So I'm kind of guessing, it feels fairly empty. So I'm guessing we're about here. Based on the past progress, I would say that this will be done by the next check-in. I think the next check-in is going to be like a really exciting one. I'm already planning in my mind what products I want to replace these products with as I finish things up. So this is just a really nice basic hydrating primer. It has a very watery consistency. Because of that, I seem to use quite a bit of it each time that I use it, but I do put it like all over my face and like down my neck because it is hydrating, and it doesn't leave my skin like too overly dewy or anything like that. It just gives me, it almost like reactivates my skincare if I've waited a while from the time that I've washed my face and done my skincare to the time that I'm doing my makeup in the morning. This is a great primer to go in with, where it feels like it just kind of reactivates all of those serums and moisturizers and leaves the skin feeling very like fresh and prepped. My Missha BB Cream, we are making steady progress on this as well. I do have all of these products on today, so I did use that primer today. I did use the Missha BB Cream, however, I did mix it with another foundation just because I don't like the way that this one looks on camera. Like when I'm filming and I've got the lights on, it's so dewy, you guys. And I'm a combo skin type, so I did mix it with another foundation just to like tone that down a little bit and give me a little bit more coverage. But I'm using this just about every day. I'm using this absolutely every day on like the weekends whenever I'm off. This is what I have on through the week when I'm working, depending on whether or not I'm filming. I'm wearing this most days and I do really love it. I'm gonna be sad when this one is gone, but I'm enjoying the process of panning it. And so again, you can see I'm making very steady progress. It is kind of getting to the point where I notice when I pump it, it's going like before it gives me a little bit of product. So that tells me we're getting down. It's so hard to tell with these types of packaging how much is really in there. You can see through it a bit, but because of the squeezy tube package, it's kind of hard to tell. But I would say we've got maybe a couple more rounds to go with this one, but definitely not in a rush because it's so beautiful. It's one of those products where, I don't know if you guys can tell, it looks a little bit gray initially, but it blends into my skin tone in a way that is so perfect. Again, I'll just be really sad when this one's gone. So really enjoying the process with that one as well. My little Trestique concealer. So this is the Conceal, Cover, and Correct Crayon. I have the shade Porcelain. Sorry, I should have said I have the shade number 23 in the Missha and Porcelain in the Trestique. So this is a little concealer crayon, goes like this. So I've been measuring it kind of on my little piece of paper here. So if you can see, we have come down, again, like consistent progress. I think that's like the lesson with this particular check-in, is that I'm making consistent progress on everything. I am using these products most days. I'm using this every single day to cover up like my hyperpigmentation. I do still have some acne scarring on my chin. I do have like a big pimple here that's been it's just been there. It has been there for weeks now, and I'm not using this on that. It's like not enough coverage, but this is really nice for that. Like you just need a touch more coverage than what you got from your foundation. This is a really nice product for that, and it's not heavy. It doesn't look cakey on the skin at all, so I can kind of just draw it on to those areas where I have a little bit of extra, you know, things to cover, and I can just kind of tap it in. It's really, really easy to work with. So I would say we're probably going to be into the fall before this one is gone. You guys, this damn powder, this damn Physicians Formula powder. So if you've been around, you know this was in last year's project all year long. It's now in this year's project. Can we believe that this powder is still going? It's at the point, so I put my mark at the bottom because it's at the point where there's so little in there, you guys. Like it's kind of now where I'm like doing this to get some like into the sifter to actually use. So I surely by the next check-in, this is going to be gone. It's getting to that point where I may have to actually like pull the sifter out to be able to get enough product onto my brush. And I know that once I do that, A, it's gonna be messy, and B, I'm gonna run through it really fast. So I think it's safe to assume that this one will be gone by the next check-in, but this is literally like, this is like the Mary Poppins bag for powder. I can't understand how we've been using this powder for like 2 years, and I used to buy one of these like every few months. How much powder was I using? I say that every time, I know. Next up, we have my Covergirl Clean Fresh Translucent Pressed Powder. And I have the shade Translucent. This does come, I think, in light and medium as well, but you can see I've got Major Pan in this guy. So we've definitely expanded the pan. I use this every single day. I use it to set down my concealer. It's one of the only powders that I've tried that doesn't darken my concealer. It really flattens out that area and kind of blurs things. It looks white, I know, but it doesn't on the skin. It just blends into nothing. It's really, really finely milled. I love this so much. Again, I'm enjoying panning this. There's nothing in here that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this to be gone. I'm enjoying everything. So it's been a really successful project thus far for that reason, but this one is definitely still going strong. We've got big pan, but there's quite a bit of product around the edges here. You're just now starting to see that ring like on this side. So again, probably into the fall with this one, but I know that this one will probably get to a point where I have to repress it because I have a very specific brush that I like to use under my eyes. I have a very specific powder and a very specific brush to make my under eyes look as less old as possible. So this one will probably, like I say, into the fall for sure. And then of course we have our Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This one, you guys, there's so much pan here. It's now getting to a point where I do have to repress this. I have this on. I really struggled, although maybe that's good for me because you guys know I'm really heavy-handed with my bronzer. Maybe it's good that I couldn't get a lot because now that I'm looking into the screen, I'm like, you know what, that's like an acceptable amount of bronzer. So, but it is getting to a point where it's hard to get my brush, you know, it's hard to get a good coating on my brush. I'm just so lazy. I don't want to repress it. It's not that much work. It really isn't. But it is kind of getting to that point. We're just about to the edge on this side here. You guys will be able to see the progress in the photos, but I've come a long way with this one. The butter bronzer is not easy to pan. It is sort of like a baked formula, so it's very firmly pressed into that pan. I think I will probably start using it as like a transition color in my crease with my fluffy brush and some of those types of things to work through it. It's getting to a point now where there's so little product in there that I'm not enjoying it as much because I have to work so hard to get my brush coated. Oh my soul, my allergies are so bad. Just the scent of this right now, I almost had a big sneezing fit, but I held it in. So if I look a little watery, that's why. But I do love this bronzer. It's especially one of my favorites to use in like the fall and winter time when I'm my most pale. We are kind of getting into a little bit of the warmer weather here where I live, so soon this will be a little bit too light for me. So I think that the timing is going to work out perfectly with this one. I'll have used this up, I think, by the time I'm wanting something a little bit darker. So I'm hoping by the next check-in, this one will be gone. I'm gonna really, like I said, try to use it as a transition color, try to really focus on getting some major progress done on this one so we can move on to something new. I'm always just a little bit disappointed when we have a check-in and I don't have a new product to add in. However, I do have new pan in the Lou Manizer. So this is just a deluxe size sample of the Lou Manizer, and look at that pan, you guys. It's like significant. When I first hit pan on this, it was the tiniest little baby pan and I was like, oh, and there it is. So we're making good progress on that one. I do have it on as my highlighter today. I also have it on like my inner corner and my brow bone. I've been using it that way as well. It works really well for that because it is a nice light color. Going into the summer months, this will be a little bit too light for me, but I will still be able to use it mixed in with other highlighters and on that inner corner. So yeah, brand new pan. Look at us go. That's a good one. So those are all my products. That is my progress that I have made for this check-in. Let me know in the comments down below what you think is gonna go first. Do you think I think it's gonna be between these three. This is my prediction. I mean, I'm hoping in the next check-in, these are all gonna be gone. That's my goal, is to use these three up by the time we check in. So it's May, we'll probably check in July. Hopefully these will be gone, and we'll be adding 3 more products to the project. So let me know in the comments down below as well if you're doing a project pan or if you're doing sort of an unofficial project pan. Is there something you're trying to use up in your collection? I always love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye.